Welcome back to Weather Weekly News. Hit that subscribe button now. This week we got a developer commentary, hopefully the first of many, in which the creative director, some Russian name, explains a few different things, including performance, naval forces, and the current state of modern jets, or supersonic jets with guided missiles. The general answer of modern jets was that it's not confirmed. They're currently in the research and testing phase, but they did say that modern planes are still possible. I'm assuming this is things like the OV-1 Mohawk, or maybe even things like the T-37, essentially airplanes, and maybe jets that even still fit the current jet criteria that are within the current game's meta, essentially just without the self-guided missiles. But they also brought up, though, that there is a possibility that helicopters will appear in-game before supersonic jets. This is not the first time that Gaijin has brought up the concept of helicopters being added before supersonic jets. I believe a while ago in a Q&A they said that perhaps Rank 6 aircraft will be made up of helicopters. If they make the final tier of aircraft helicopters, that'd be a real big insult to the aircraft community, as helicopters would not function in the current aircraft matchmaking. They would function in ground forces, and quite well, in fact. A good amount of them would be armed with ATGMs and would be able to fire from a rather long distance, perhaps out of the range of anti-air, which could be an issue that some people have brought up. But I'd like to bring up that not all helicopters are armed with ATGMs. In fact, there are a few helicopters from the Second World War. For example, the Germans used the Fa-223, which was armed with one MG-15 aimed from the nose and could carry two 250 kilogram bombs, or depth charges. The Japanese had the Kayaba Ka-1, which wasn't really a helicopter but an auto glider, which is like half helicopter, half airplane. While this had no machine guns, it could carry two 60 kilogram depth charges. In the terms of allied helicopters, I couldn't find much. While the US did have some, it didn't seem any of them were armed. I could be wrong on that, but they did have a numerous amount of Korean War and Vietnam era helicopters that could potentially fit in the game. While some of them wouldn't be too overpowered, perhaps like the H-21 Flying Banana, only armed with rockets and machine guns, I don't think ever ATGMs. Other ones were armed with ATGMs, like for example the YH-32 Hornet, though early helicopters were rather unarmed and could be easily killed with the spray of a roof-mounted machine gun. Also on the developer commentary, naval forces were covered in a rather positive tone. They have once again stated that closed beta testing, not pre-closed beta testing, is rather close. This has been stated for a few times over the last month. Some interesting notes to take is one thing that is said is that they have finished most things. They have achieved everything they could, everything they wanted, and everything the players wanted. I take issue with the last one because I'm one of their testers, and I personally want more than what the current tests have been showing. The other thing I wish to talk about is a bit more of a conspiracy theory that I've come up with surrounding Italian tanks. About a month ago, World of Tanks announced that they are developing an Italian tank line. This matters because World of Tanks is competition for Gaijin. And if you paid attention to my last video, Gaijin, it seems, has been messing around with developing a Italian tank map. What I'm predicting what's going to happen is sometime next month, World of Tanks is going to release their Italian tank line. Half of it is made of fake tanks. And a month later, we're going to get 1.79 and get our own Italian tank tech tree. The reason why I think this is because what would happen is essentially Gaijin would steal World of Tanks' thunder, showing more and better representation of Italian tanks, making their announcements less interesting and Gaijin's more prevalent. Typically, War Thunder has a patch about every 4 months, although in the past they've shown to be more sporadic. Also on that, 1.77 was rather content light, more of an engine upgrade, which was also in competition of World of Tanks 1.0 patch. If keeping on tradition, about next week the Chronicles of World War II event should be starting up, as I said in my prior video. In other news, the J2M2 is back to being a club-o-matic, performing better than its later variations, and client stability was apparently improved. Well, actually, what happened was Gaijin had decreased the impactfulness of the cannon sound effects. This is most likely to deal with the odd clipping sounds that you would hear every once in a while. But as a direct result, or perhaps the solution, was to make the cannon sounds weaker. You may have noticed this in game already. The guns do sound a bit different. Anyways, that's just about everything this week. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you did not like the video, don't hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I make these every weekend. I make random videos throughout the week. If you want to be notified whenever I upload anything, hit that bell icon. You should get a notification whenever I upload any video. Thanks for watching and have a great day.